What's up, guys? It's Frank and this is Graybird Garage. So it's that time of year again where we're going to be putting the cars away. It's going to be snowing real soon, so we don't want to be taking this or that out into the snow. I just wanted to show you guys real quick how I go about basically prepping my cars for storage for the winter. First up, we go with the Mustang. So this car right here is actually my wife's car. This is a 2013 Mustang V6 Premium. It's a Mustang Club of America edition car, and it very well optioned, fully loaded, very nice car. Any of the mods that were done to this car were done prior to my being on YouTube, so I'll just give you a quick rundown. There's not much done to it, but it's got enough. It's got a Borla exhaust on it, some Eibach lowering springs, Roush cold air intake, and this car is gorgeous. It's immaculate. There isn't very much that I do on this car because, like I said, everything that was done was prior to my being on YouTube, and there really isn't anything besides normal maintenance. This is the car that we take to Ford Nationals, and I love this car because it's just really, really clean, and it has one of the best options ever available on a car. This is the glass roof. If I ever get another S197 car, it'll definitely have a glass roof. So let me show you what we do with this as far as storage is concerned. There's not really much to do to it because it's a nice new car, but so besides just a nice wash and a wax prior to covering, I have a battery tender that I hook up to the car. You can see it right here. There's my terminals, and then I have the wire running right outside over here. This is a Centec battery tender I got from Harbor Freight. It was relatively inexpensive. I used it last year, and no issues, no problems with it. It has load detection on it. It has short detection, all that sort of stuff to keep your battery safe, and it keeps it charged. Basically, it maintains 12 volts at all times, so it's pretty neat. At least I know I'll have a battery as soon as I go to fire it up next season. And then the only other thing I do is, after filling it up with premium gas, this car does take premium because it has what I describe as a spicy tune on it. Just pretty peppy for what it is for a V6. But of course, I fill up with one bottle of Startron. It's a fuel stabilizer, and fill her up with some 93, and basically cover it up, and she'll be good to go for next year. I'll be able to turn the key, it'll fire right up next season. Next season, the only thing that's planned is normal maintenance. Gonna just do an oil change on it, and yeah, there's only one thing that has to actually be fixed on this car. The driver's seat, something's wrong with one of the tracks, and I bought a kit from CJ Pony Parts to actually fix that, but I haven't had a chance to actually do it. So over the winter, I'll be taking the seat out and taking the track apart and trying to figure out if I could get the power seat to go up and down again. But other than that, everything is pretty much 100% on this car, and I love driving it. She's nice. I need to feature this car a little bit more, but like I said, there really isn't much to do to it, so it is what it is. So let's move on to the Corvette, see what we got in store for her. And of course, we have the Corvette. Here is the 76. The only thing I do as far as fueling system is I ran the tank down to almost empty, and then right before I brought her in here, I filled up with non-ethanol gasoline, which is available in my area. The reason why is because ethanol tends to eat at rubber lines and gums up carburetors when it sits for a long period of time. The only other thing I did to fuel system was, once again, another bottle of Startron in there, fuel stabilizer. Make sure the fuel stays nice and fresh. And just a wash and a wax. And of course, once again, we have a nice battery tender on her. Now, this is my trusty die-hard battery tender that I've had for a long time. Works perfectly. I've never had an issue with it. So we'll continue to use it. And then when I cover this car, I tend to leave the windows down because for some reason with older cars, if you leave the windows closed, they tend to get like a kind of like a musty smell on the inside. That's regardless of how clean you keep it, just because it's old. I mean, keep in mind this car is 46 years old, 76, yeah, 46 years old. So, yeah, that's basically it. I have a couple of things planned for this car, but it's all going to be budget limited. So I have a regular job. I'm not sponsored. So anything that I do to any of my cars or, you know, the Jeeps or whatever comes directly out of my pocket. So if anybody would like to sponsor me, that's all well and good, because trust me, I have many ideas for many more projects, not just a couple of cars that you see here, but I mean, you know, the sky's the limit when you have an unlimited budget, you know what I'm saying? So, as far as what I want to do to the car and what's actually going to get done are two completely different things. One of the things that I want to do to the car is I would like to put an overdrive transmission in it. An overdrive automatic is going to help me when we're on the highway, because right now, even with the 308 gears that are in the car, when you're at 75 miles an hour and you're pushing 3,600 RPM, it's just not fun to drive long distances. So, you know, I'd like to be able to increase that, increase the fun factor there, and be able to take the car, you know, wherever. The other thing I was considering was eliminating the carburetor setup and going with a Holley EFI system. But once again, everything here is budget limited. So I have to see what what my budget allows, and frankly, what my wife allows also. So it is what it is with that. But as far as the way that the car is right now, you know, I was unable to recover any of the footage from when I did the suspension on the car. So if anybody has a C3 Corvette out there and they'd like it lowered, hit me up, because I would like to film a video on that, because it was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And that's it. So yeah, let's get these cars covered up, and yeah, that's it. And there you have it, guys. That's basically all I do to prep my cars so that they can be stored properly. The Mustang, I know it'll start up in the spring. It's a modern fuel injected car. I'm not worried about it at all. As long as the battery's charged and everything's good, should be able to hit the key and it'll start right up. The Corvette, I will be coming out here in the colder months and periodically starting it and letting it run, just keeping everything flowing through the fuel system. And I'll be moving it in and out of the garage as I do maintenance on whatever other vehicles need maintenance, because it's just nicer to do it in the garage when it's 30 degrees outside. So that's basically it. You know, thanks very much for liking and subscribing. I do appreciate it. Maybe one day I'll be sponsored and have a nice big shop, and, you know, never have to go to work again. Just come here and play with cars all day. That's the dream, but, you know, this is the reality. So until then, I'll see you guys out there.